Hey YouTubers, my name is Tanya and welcome to my very first weight loss surgery video log. I wanted to do a bit of a video log because there is not a lot of video logs out there regarding weight loss surgery in Canada. So I thought they would be good to start one. There is a few, I have seen a few for sure, and I'm very appreciative of them because I've been able to, reference them more, in relation to our healthcare system here. But basically, I am 327 pounds right now. Of course, we all vary. I vary 6 pounds each day. So anyway, but I started this process about a year and 2 months ago. So the process in Ontario, I live in St. Catharines. I'm working through the weight loss surgery clinic in Hamilton. So I put in a referral to bariatric surgery through my family physician. A little bit of contesting there at first, but they did agree to do it. And actually, I should rephrase that. The first time I went to my family physician, she was on mat leave, so somebody else was filling in for her, and they were anti-it, but let me do it because I requested it. When she came back from her mat leave, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm all for that." So it was kind of interesting to have one doctor's perspective going, "No way, Jose," and somebody who knew me a little bit saying, "Absolutely." So anyway, I digress. But so basically, the way the process worked is they put me on the bariatric registry. It's an Ontario bariatric registry. And then the bariatric registry is the main way in which you get referred to this type of surgery. Then they determine which hospital within Ontario is closest to you, and then refer you to the system there. The one in Hamilton is one of the best known, and has I think it's the longest clinic potentially in Ontario. And they have some great surgeons there: Dr. Anvari, Dr. Gamora, Dr. Hong. There's a few others. I do apologize for not mentioning them, but anyway. But basically, once you get referred there, you wait usually at least 6 months, which I did. I had 6 months before I got invited to the orientation meeting, which would have been in March. So my first referral was last September 2012. In March, I got to go to the orientation meeting on March 25th. And at that point in time, they tell you a bit about it, the side effects, the things you got to do to start prepping for surgery, all the stuff you have to consider, the costs involved, any extra costs above and beyond. So all those things that kind of prep us. So, and then after that, you're still waiting until you get your first appointments. My first appointments were not too long ago, October 2nd. I got to meet with the dietitian and the nutritionist. And they basically kind of go over the basics, why, sorry, dietitian, nutritionist, no, I'm wrong. Dietitian, nutritionist, same thing, Tanya, duh. The dietitian and the nurse and the social worker is who I got to meet the first time. And they basically just went over the basics, made sure that this is an appropriate surgery for me, look at my history, medical history, psychological history basically too, just to kind of see if this is what is good for you. Then after that, they book you for a gastroscopy. Gastroscopy, I'm thinking of gastroscopy. Wow, that's, sorry, tongue twister for me today. I'm a speech pathologist, by the way. You think I could handle a word like that? Gastroscopy. Somebody can yell at me later for how I said that. Anyway, so I had that done on Friday, but in the same breath, they also referred me to a urologist because I had a history of kidney stones in the past, and there is a bit of a link between having a history of kidney stones and having a higher rate of them after you've had gastric bypass surgery. So for those people with that type of a profile history, they want to make sure you have a full urology workup. So that thing is taking me longer than anything else, but because I'm supposed to get a renal CT scan and do this 24-hour urine collection thing, 3 days worth, by the way. I know that's probably too much information, but that's just crazy. That's a lot of pee. But anyway, so after that, then some people who haven't had to do that have already had an appointment with the surgeon, and some of them have even had their surgical dates given. But I know for me that's going to probably be a little bit longer because of having to do the urology workup and all the stuff that goes with it. So, and plus I'm just not, the way I've worked my schedule is that I wouldn't be able to have this surgery until after Christmas anyway. So, and I'm okay with that. So, but anyway, so that's pretty much the weight loss surgery process. I can go into it in a bit more detail if you need, but that's pretty much the normal weight loss, time frame for the Hamilton clinic. It's usually about a year and a half, if not more, around 18 months sometimes. It is different at different hospitals in the region, but I chose to stay at the Hamilton hospital because they had a pretty good support system, and I just liked the reputation of the doctors in general. So reasons why I'm doing weight loss surgery. Obviously, most of the reasons that anybody who's watching this video probably already has experienced and knows. Medical is the biggest one for me right now. I have been very easily in the past against weight loss surgery. I thought it was a cop-out, blah, 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 all those things. But I've come to know that I've been on so many diets where every time I go on a diet and lose 50, I gain back 70. It's like the 20-plus diets. Every time I do a diet, I gain 20 pounds. That's more what I think of as a diet now. And I know there's lots of reasons. I know it's willpower. I know it's all these things. You don't have to tell me that. I do have a bit of a brain here. But basically, it was the fact that about 4 or 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I knew something was going on, but that definitely was a big issue for me. I'm having significant time adjusting to it, controlling it, the CPAP machine, trying to keep it on, and all the things that I'm doing with it. And then on top of that, 6 months ago, I got diagnosed with diabetes, type 2, and I'm now on two separate forms of medication for that. So diabetes, sleep apnea, lots of other things with my health. Of course, being at this weight, being able to even get up a flight of stairs is huge. My job requires me to work with little children, and I have to be on the floor, and I look at the floor and I go, no way, Jose. I wouldn't be able to get down and get back up again in any form of decorum. As a professional, that's very embarrassing. And as well, the whole aspect of bullying. I mean, honestly, the first time that I went to the doctor about getting bariatric surgery was because I walked into the North China buffet and somebody thought it was appropriate to lean into my ear and say cow. Now, I want to be clear that bullying somebody doesn't make them go and do this and get better, okay? That bullying made me go home and eat myself out of house and home because I was so depressed. And normally that's what I would keep on doing, and I'd keep on eating. But I thought, I just, for once in my life, I needed to do something for me. And I know there's tons of risks to this. Lots of side effects. I've listened to all the bad and the good on YouTube about side effects, bads and goods. And most of the time, and I've met people who have had severe side effects from gastric bypass gone wrong. But there's one thing that they say to me is that they don't regret having the surgery. That it did what it was supposed to do. There was just extraneous circumstances in their situations that made it so that it didn't work like it should have, whether it be genetic predisposition to other things or something else wrong that was not identified beforehand, all that stuff. So that's why I'm kind of liking them doing all this medical workup more so than normal, because I want to be sure that I'm covering all my bases. So that's the biggest thing for me. Health. I'm getting married in less than a year. I would love to be able to dance with my fiance and not be so exhausted after half of a dance that I have to go sit down. I want to be a good wife. I want to be a person who can help and support in many different ways. And if I ever do want children, I'm getting up there, but if I ever do want children, having this weight on me is not going to work. But I'm running out of time. But thank you for looking at this blog, and I hope that I'll be able to do more, and that as I get approved, hopefully, for this process, because I still have to go through a few hoops, that things will progress and things will go well. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you later.